Right.
That's straight ALDOT.
Yeah.
Again.
So she's going to have a license, though, is what we're saying for that.
Yes, yeah, she's going to have to have a GC license with the state of Alabama, regardless, to be applying for ALDOT. You have to have a GC license in any of those GC categories.
Which means
one got to do with the state of Alabama, the other one got to do with ALDOT as the Department of Transportation.
So does she have to have a past performance with the state? She can't use a federal past performance, right?
Oh yeah, she can. Yeah, she can use a federal past performance. Yeah.
She thought she couldn't use that.
No, got that. Okay. So on the GC license application, they ask you for all your projects that you worked for the past 3 to 5 years, something like that, right? And she lists all those things down there, right?
That's just.
Hold on. Go ahead.
No, but that's for ALDOT. That's for ALDOT, right?
No. The application for the Alabama is similar to the one for ALDOT. It's similar, right? You still have to list all your past performance and stuff like that because you're supposed to have that first, your GC license first to apply for to be a prime at ALDOT, right? You see what I'm saying? Well, and you get your GC license as a trade contractor. Do you get your GC license as a general contractor?
Well, listen to what I'm saying, Donald. You ain't listening to what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand. Christine trying to understand. She has a GC license. It's in vertical. So Mr. Nichols said he can get certified now with ALDOT. But
correct.
But when she goes to if she wins a job, she's gonna be like Elliot, right? She probably not gonna have her when the GC board look at it, she's gonna have to go and get a GC license in that area to be able to perform that percentage of work. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let me make sure you guys understand what I'm trying to say. That is correct. For the trade that she performs, not that others perform. As a general contractor, the whole thing about general contracting is you subcontract the work out to other folks, right? Okay. Yep. So right. For your trade, we might ask her, what was her trade? What is your actual trade, right? Yep. You see what I'm saying? And her trade, if her trade is vertical, so if she went and did a ALDOT rest stop, right, or something like that, she can do the whole goddamn thing if she wanted to, or she can sub out 7% of the work, right?
Right.
But if she went and did some paving or something like that, well, you can bid on a paving job, because how much of that can you do? Well, the probably only thing she could do is probably some dirt work or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
Well, she could.
It depends on.
She can bid on it and she can win it, but they could give her an extension to go get a license. That's what Mr. Nichols was telling her, right? Like Elliot.
Well, yeah, you have to go. Yes, she would have to go. She would have to go take that exam or pay that fee. If it's silver, I think it's a fee. I think if it doesn't have an exam, yeah. Because some of the trades you have to have, like electrical, mechanical, or civil. I think you have to take an actual exam for that specific one. And then you get the one just with general, like carpentry and all that kind of madness or whatever, right? It's written in the thing how it works. It's written in the application. It's actually written in the application on the first couple of pages. So what is she trying to do?
So we have to have, she was just trying to understand, because she don't have, of course, for road work type stuff, she doesn't have a state. She can't perform that at the state level.
Right, and on road work, by the way, those are all trades. Heavy construction, trade, right? Heavy highway, trade. Paving, trade. Those are all trades. And we confuse them, and we have this conversation sometimes. We confuse people. It's like, even though you're saying you're a general contractor for doggone ALDOT, actually you're just a large trade contractor with general contractor's license. That's all you are, for the qualification to be a prime, right? But back to what I was saying though, about that though is, I also told her she can go hire a contractor, a person with a general contractor's license, because the general contractor license for the individual, not the company, and then she won't have to worry about all that. She just will hire somebody.
Right. So she
with that trade.
So she can hire them, and then she can bid on that, right?
Right, or she can bid on it, win, and then hire them. Remember, because you got to get your license, right? They will let you win the work, but they'll be like, hey, what's up with this? Hey, well, okay, you go hire the, you get the guy hired once you know you won. You get the time within 2 weeks, I guess, and do it that way, and then file with the state of Alabama. But what she should do, and like I recommend it, what she should do is this: whatever her work types are that's tied to the work she's been doing past performance on the federal side, right? Because you have to have a GC license, right?
Yeah.
That's what she used for her past performance to apply for on the ALDOT side, right? The only work she could do right now with a basic general contractor license is buildings type stuff, like rest stops and stuff like that, right?
Right.
But within those, you got paving and all that stuff, whatever. But you'll be subbing some of that stuff out, or you would self-perform some of it yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's what she got to figure out.
But we need to make it clear to her that she can use the federal as past performance as well for the state, because she was thinking she had to do state work.
Well, federal supersedes state anyway. State supersedes county. County supersedes city.
Well, we just need to communicate to her clearly that she can use that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Mr. Nichols did not tell her that she could not use her federal work as past performance.
That's what she interpreted. So we'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it.
I think he was talking about from a licensing perspective. From a licensing perspective, because federal work, you only have to have license in one area or whatever. And it says federal property is sovereign. You can do work all over the United States. But if you're doing it for a state, you have to have it for that state, for that particular category. I'm thinking that's what he's saying.
Yeah, let's follow up later on. We're getting more people on. So we'll follow up.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate it. Christine, did that help a little?
We'll talk about it later.
It didn't help. That ought to help a little bit.
It helped a little bit, but I need him to put that in writing.
I don't know that we need it in writing.
No, I need him to explain it to me in writing. He talks so fast, it's impossible to take notes. So I just need him to send me some bullet points. I'll ask him. I'll just ask him to send me a few bullet point specifics.
All righty.
Or direct me to the source where I can find that information myself. He says it's in the application, but I
think for her, which I thought yesterday is she can use that past performance if she's done it. It doesn't have to be on a state job.
Well, I want to look on the application and see if there's something in here that made her think that.
Well, Mr. Nichols told her he didn't care. He said he sent everything to me. He said that directly. Okay. And I wasn't quite sure what she was saying when she was told until we talked to her after, or else I would have asked Mr. Nichols directly about the state issue. Because I was assuming it was to be the same thing for the state. I mean, if they don't care if you got past performance, you got past performance.
Does any of this depend on what kind of her classifications as a GC?
She'll have to get that when she goes to the state. She'll have to get those classifications. That's what we're thinking. She's going to have to add those classifications to her license. You're going to have those licenses. And
that would require she sit for an exam.
Some of them do, according to what Donna said. Some of them you just pay a fee and put in your past performance. But some of them have an exam.
Okay.
But it seems like in all of them you can hire somebody that already has the license, and it follows the person.
Okay, all right. And she may have somebody on staff, maybe her son.
Or she can get, or if she wins, she can get some.
Right. Okay.
All right. Am I driving today? Or are you driving?
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Is it the opening slide?
Yes.
Well, I don't like to do the narration, so.
I'm driving.
Yes, please.
Right.
Can you introduce Ms. Stanley, and I will introduce Mr. Williams.
When we get to her part, or
yeah, when we get to her part, and you'll know because.
Is that Veronica?
Pardon me?
Is that Veronica?
Oh, okay, yeah. So, the slides are, the usual. Can you still see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Miss Stanley will come on. Mr. Williams will come on.
You're going to introduce Mr. Williams? Or
Yeah, and then I should have told Donald this. I put the slide in so that he could introduce if the man from South Group, the bonding, he can just mention that he's going to be talking next month. So,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the last slide. So.
Hey, Veronica.
And hello, Ms. Brooks.
Ms. Brooks. Is that you, Veronica?
She's.
Hello, Christine.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Dr. Golston, Veronica is going to call in because she's had some issues with her audio.
Okay.
You know how her audio sometimes breaks up?
Right, right.
So, okay, I'm going to mute and, you know, I signed on early, but I still need to do things. So I'm going to step away for a minute.
Okay.
Hey, Christine, can you hear me?
Yes, Veronica, sorry, I overslept. I'm brushing my teeth now.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I had audio. So I'm on my phone, but I've got, I'm in the meeting.
You're in.
Hey, Veronica.
Yes.
I see you now.
Yeah, I'm on my phone because my audio on my laptop has not been reliable. So I'm logged in, but I'm using my phone audio. So hopefully that'll be better.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I think I see Mr. Hoffman. Maybe.
I said, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, sir? I thought that was you. I saw your number.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me.
Y'all doing good in Montgomery?
Yeah. I enjoyed the meeting yesterday with Mr. Nichols and the representative from Holland Contract.
Yeah, I think that was she was engaged after that. She called us back and she was really encouraged by because I think she got a lot of good information from that she can now use.
Okay.
I wanna circle back with her and me and Mr. Taylor and Ms. Lewis on that past performance thing there, because I think we need to explain that to her again.
Okay.
Which it'll be good timing because she can wait till she get April and
Yeah. It don't make no sense for her to just submit something that's past due and then it be good for 1 month.
Right.
Just wait that month and then just submit updated stuff and then she'll be good for 12 months.
Right. Which in that month we can figure out which work types and which trades she's gonna go after and get that in place.
Yep. Well, I'm excited. I've long held that, I'm not concerned about numbers as I am quality.
Okay.
So if we have 15 or 20 or 30 DBEs or whatever that's participating every month, then that's it. We just gonna go with that number.
That number, yeah. Okay. All right.
I would like to have more, but if it shakes out that that's the number, then we gonna go with that.
Okay. I was gonna check and see what your schedule was, maybe next week, maybe for lunch or something. But I'll shoot you an email maybe later today.
All right.
Okay.
We go out there to the place on the eastern book out there to Martha's. That seems to be where you get all you want to eat and got a good dining atmosphere and everything.
That's going out past the mall, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like that one.
Mr. Hoffman, a couple of months ago, AL.com had an article about them.
About the Mentor-Protege program?
No, about the restaurant. Sorry.
Oh. Well, that's great.
It gave the background and how they moved from their original location. It was very interesting, but how it was still a very popular place in Montgomery.
Okay. I didn't know that. They started off downtown, and she got she don't have all the pictures up out there at the new location, but I'm sure she has pictures of when she took photos with some important dignitaries as they came through her restaurant, famous folks and things like that. So it's very interesting.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Glad to be here. Is that Christine?
I'm here.
Now this is Ronica, but Christine is on also.
Oh, okay. Hi, Ronica and Christine. And then I see a 334. I see Donald Taylor, Dr. Goldston.
Good morning.
Okay, we've got a good lineup this morning. Hello,
That's
everybody.
Me. Hello.
Hello. So good to see you. Well, I don't see you yet. I don't know why my thing is doing this. Oh, there we go. Okay, some people are going to have their icon up there and other people are going to have their true face. I see. I see.
I wanted to bless y'all with my picture this morning just to brighten your day.
You know, and we need some brightening up here, looking at that snow outside, and then we've got, you know, some more. Do we have a little more bad weather coming before it breaks next week?
I think it's some rain on Monday. There may be some snow in there, I think they were saying, yeah.
Yeah, that is not our kind of weather for the site work business. And Christine, if you want to do a test run, I am also attempting to make sure it works to share my screen.
Okay, Karen, I need to send somebody a link, and then I'll be right.
Oh, okay, go ahead. No problem. I'm sure it'll be fine when we get to it. I don't usually have trouble with that. Try to get as many people as we can on here.
Ms. Huff, is that you I see on there? Might be being incognito.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing better.
Good, good to hear.
Y'all doing good?
We're doing good. Are you up to lunch? Ronica keeps asking me when we're coming back to lunch.
I haven't been out in any restaurants yet.
Okay, okay. Well, Ronica, just have to wait until you're able to get back out.
Yeah, I have to still cart this oxygen around, so
Yeah.
I've not ventured out too far.
Actually, I put it on Ronica, but you probably know that's Dr. Ghostin likes to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she knows who wants to come the most. I want to go too, but
Yeah, I think you missed last time. It was Christine and Dr. Golston.
Yeah.
yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you back on. We hope you're feeling better soon.
Thank you. I'm getting there.
Christine, did you get the link sent out yet? Or
Yeah, I did.
you did? Do you want to do the dry run, or you just want to go ahead and start? I think Miss Stanley was comfortable. Did you give everybody give her ability to share her screen? I think you have to go into security or something.
She did.
I
We
did.
talked about that on email the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Looks
Yeah.
like y'all got that. That's okay. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and start then, Christine.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Ghostin. Thanks for joining in on our project letting seminar that we have each month, the Friday before the letting. So the letting is next month. Thanks for joining in. We try to share information and make sure everybody has the resources they need to be successful. So we'll keep the same similar format, try to get you out of here within an hour so we can get to work and as we go forward. So we'll go through the introductions so you'll know who your supportive services are and how to get in contact with them. Ms. Ondoxson will go through the letting seminar information. We'll pick out a few of those to highlight each month. So we'll highlight those, the letting seminar. We have a guest prime contractor this time from the Stanley Construction, Ms. Karen Stanley. We'll talk to you after that, our presentation. Then we'll followed by Mr. Williams, talk a little bit about staffing. We got an upcoming event, workshop, and seminar we'll talk about. And we'll have time in there for questions and answers. So as we're going through, if you have questions, jot those down and we'll open it up at least a couple times there. And then again at the end for you to get those questions answered as we go through. I'm gonna ask everybody now, if you would, just remember to mute yourself when you're not talking, so we don't get into the background noise. We really appreciate that as we're going through. So for introductions, again, I'm Dr. Ghostin. I think with the Mentor-Protege program, I'm the director of the program. Several of my staff is on. I'll go ahead and introduce them. You'll be hearing from them as you go through. Miss Christine Lewis, she's works with the program. She puts together a letting seminar each month here and manages the website and also provides some business development capability. If you need any of those things, just reach out to us. Ms. Ondoxson also will go over the letting seminar, letting information. She's real knowledgeable about our letting, the website, and how do you get bids submitted. So if you have any of those types of questions, reach out to us as well. And then Mr. Taylor is our subject matter expert in small businesses. So any technical questions, project management, those types of things, just reach out to us and we'll make sure you got the resources that you need going forward. So that's our Mentor-Protege program. Also, Christine, I think the next slide we have, I didn't see everybody come on, but if there's any of the other supportive services that came on, as well as Mr. Hoffman, I've seen him on, we'll take a few minutes now to let everybody just kind of introduce themselves. That way everybody will know who we are and how you can get in contact with us.
Okay, I'm John Hoffman. I'm the DBE unit supervisor here in Montgomery. I can be reached at 334-242-6251. That's my office number. Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, 12 to 1, I go to lunch. It's a pleasure to be here this morning to support UAH in their endeavor.
Thank you. I don't know, did I see UWA?
Yes, good morning, Dr. Ghostin. We're here.
Good morning, Donald. How are you?
Good. Donald Mills, I'm the director of the DBE Supportive Services Program here at the University of West Alabama. And Ms. Sherry Studdemeyer is on as well, who is our assistant director here at UWA. And we'll post our contact information. It's posted here on the slide, but we'll also put it in the comment section.
Thank you. Good morning, Sherry. Let's see.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
Did I see Danielle or Latoya?
Good morning. Yes, this is Danielle.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Danielle Barnes. I am the director for ALDOT at AMU, DBE Supportive Services, housed at Alabama A&M University. We oversee the DBE Supportive Services program for the northern tier of Alabama. I work along with Ms. Natoya Sterling. She's our program assistant. And we're very happy to help in any way we can. We're glad to see Ms. Stanley and her shop on the line. And we're also glad to see Mr. Williams representing his company on the line. So we're excited to be here.
All right, thank you. Did I see anybody from ENS, Mike Self or Cynthia? I don't think I did. Also, I'd like to introduce, he may not be on, Mr. Claude Douglas. So for estimating, if you need any help estimating there, ALDOT has provided all these services. This slide here is pretty valuable to you, as well as Mr. Huffman's contact information. If you have any questions about bidding or about the ALDOT process, you can start with your regional DB supportive services there, or and then if they have to pull us in, we all work together, and our goal is to make sure the DBEs have all the resources they need to be successful, which starts with bidding and estimating ALDOT jobs, as well as working with the prime contractors to help them find DBE resources needed on their jobs as they're looking for subcontracts. So please feel free to reach out to your supportive services. Again, we all work together collaboratively to make sure that you have the resources you need to be successful. So thanks everybody for joining in this morning. I'm gonna continue with the letting and turn it over to Ms. Ondoxson.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to cover 8 of the major projects on the ALDOT letting for next Friday. It's a few less than we normally do, but that's because we have 2 speakers that I really want everyone to get a chance to hear today. So we're going to jump in. Our first project is in Mobile. This project has a 3% DBE goal. It's one of the larger projects on the letting. It's a bridge project. Bracket estimate is about $10 million. This project has a lot of DBE work types, traditional DBE work types. You'll see them listed there. There's a lot of demolition on this project. There's clearing of 21 acres. So if anyone is in the, landscaping business, but also does heavy clearing, this might be a good job to look at. There's hauling, guardrail, steel reinforcement in this project because it is a bridge project. This also has a lot of utility work. So if there are any utility contractors, this one has water lines, hydrants, and some other utility work types. The tentative bidders list is long. All of the major bridge builders in Alabama are bidding this project, and there's also that last bidder, L&A Contracting, is a company out of Mississippi. So there's a lot of interest in this big project. So if you perform any of these work types, I would get bids into all of these bridge builders if you can. Next project. Jefferson County, this is a 4% DBE goal. This is a very large project, almost $15 million bracket estimate. This is Interchange Modification at Lakeshore Parkway. This also has a lot of work types on it. There's a lot of erosion control. There's also probably the most electrical work I've seen on a letting in a long time. So if you're an electrical DBE contractor, I would definitely talk to the bidders on this project. Also, there's a considerable amount of concrete work in this project. So if one of the traditional paving contractors wins this bid, they may be looking for concrete help. So if you're a concrete DBE, I would encourage you to get a bid to these bidders. You've got Chilton Contractors, Winston Contracting, Carcel and G, and Icaros. Next slide. This is Morgan County up in North Alabama. This is a 6% DBE goal, almost about a $4.5 million bracket estimate. This is pretty much a paving job, straight paving, so there's not a lot of work types on it. There's hauling, guardrail, but there is bituminous scoring on this one. The only 2 bidders right now, Reed Contracting and Wiregrass Construction. Next slide. This project's in Baldwin County, down in Mobile. There's only a 1% goal on this, but I've highlighted some of these Mobile and Baldwin County projects because we have several DBEs that we're working with this time in the Mentor-Protege program that are from that area. This bracket estimate is between $3 and about $3.5 million. It's a resurfacing, so there's not a lot of work type, but the traditional ones, hauling, guardrail, erosion control, and there is bituminous scoring on this one also. Tentative bidders, Mobile Asphalt, John G. Walton, and H.O. Weaver. Next slide. This one's also in Baldwin County. There's a 2% DBE goal. You see the bracket estimate there is a little over $3 million. Same work types. There's some demolition, hauling, guardrail, erosion control, and the same bidders on this one who are the big bidders in the Mobile, Baldwin County, Mobile Asphalt, John G. Walton, and H.O. Weaver. So you see these names over and over. So if you're bidding in this Mobile, Baldwin County area, you definitely, if you're a DBE, you need to get to know Mobile Asphalt, John G. Walton, H.O. Weaver. They bid all these projects in that area. Next slide. This project is in Blount County, a 9% DBE goal, so a high DBE goal. The project amount bracket estimate is not that high, but with 9%, there'll still be some money for DBEs. Demolition, hauling, guardrail, erosion control again. There are 2 bidders, Whitaker Contracting, which is an Alabama company, but James C. Hudson Construction, which is actually a Tennessee company, and I believe they're out of Chattanooga. Next slide. This project's in Shelby County, 10% DBE goal, which I think is the highest on the letting this month. It's a almost $6 million bracket estimate. Demolition, hauling, this has a good bit of concrete in it. If you're a concrete DBE, I would definitely look at this project with a 10% goal on it. They can meet, if a true paving contractor takes this, they'll probably sub a lot of that concrete out. Tentative bidders, Wiregrass, Chilton Contractors, Winston Contracting, Mid-South, John Plott, who I believe is out of Tuscaloosa, Carcel & G, and Dunn Construction. Next slide. This is in Autauga County. There's a 4% goal. This is another huge bridge project, almost $15 million bracket estimate. All of the major bridge builders are bidding this job also. Demolition, hauling, erosion control, guardrail. So there's not a lot of DBE work types on this. There also is bituminous scoring though. All of the major bridge builders are bidding this one also. So if you're a DBE that has bid with any of the bridge builders, I would talk to them about this job and the first job that we covered that all the bridge builders were bidding. And I think that is my last project for this time. Before Karen starts, again, like Dr. Golston said, if you have any questions about any of the projects, or if there's a project I did not cover that you want to talk about or know about the work types on, if it's in your area, just give us a call or email me, and we'll be glad to help you with that.
Okay, now I'd like to introduce Ms. Karen Stanley from Stanley Construction. She's the Vice President. She has a presentation to share information with us. So I'm going to turn it over now to Ms. Stanley.
Thank you, everyone, and good morning. It's so good to be here with all of the DBE community, the ALDOT DBE community. I'm going to start sharing my screen now, if that's good with our tech coordinator.
All good.
Okay, it looks like it is doing that. And then the other thing is to start the slideshow. Okay, there we are. So everyone has heard of teamwork. Some people may think that it is a bit trite, but the fact is, without it, your company will go down. Just to say a little bit about myself and Stanley Construction, I'm proudly in the second generation of management. This is our 60th anniversary. Stanley Construction was founded in 1961 by my father. I'm the oldest of 4, and 3 of the 4 kids are here in the family business in Alabama. My 2 brothers, some of you I do believe know, Thornton Stanley Jr., our Executive Vice President, and Algernon Stanley, our Vice President of Project Management. And I also want to say that we consider ourselves baby bulldogs. I'm not an alumnus of Alabama A&M, but both of my parents are, so we hold that near and dear. So therefore, I will be having coffee in my WJAB, Alabama A&M radio station mug this morning. Danielle, please let Erica Fox, Washington, and everybody know that I gave them a plug for 90.9 FM WJAB.
Yes, ma'am.
Now back to teamwork. It's easier said than done. And you really need teamwork in order to build capacity for excellent office infrastructure. And we're all growing business enterprises. I'm going to start just a little bit different terminology. Of course, the official name to ALDOT is Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. But however, I was raised by my dad, who always said, there's nothing disadvantaged about me. Well, we all know that minorities are disadvantaged, have less access to capital and a harder way of life. But his point was, if you keep calling yourself that and you keep harping on that, then you start acting like that. So he just said, I'm just in business. So I've called this topic Growing Business Enterprises, because who among us doesn't want to grow, disadvantaged or not? So on to my next slide, which I'm hoping, it says I'm sure, oh, there we go. Factors in a successful team. And there are many, but today I would like to talk about leadership. And then every leader needs followers that trust them. I'd like to talk a little about collaboration, conditions for good teams, culture, and communication is so key in everything that you do. So leadership is important to a team because it appoints someone to project a team's mission, purpose, and goals. So I'll just ask by a show of hands, how many of you on the call are the leader of your team in some way? Now I'm seeing not so many faces anymore, but you can raise your hand to yourself. Many of us are leaders in one way or the other. It's critical. If you don't have someone pointing the way, how will the followers know where to go? And so the leadership is responsible for engaging each team member in building mutual trust, which can lead to collaboration, individual commitment, and personnel accountability. So what I want to say about this is, your team is only as strong as your weakest link. Everybody has to be personally accountable for their own roles on the team. So now you'll forgive me if I get a little bit academic, because I do come from a business background as well as chemical engineering, but I obtained my master's in business and I learned so many things that oftentimes people who are starting up businesses and are great at their craft, you may be great in concrete, you may be great in asphalt, you may be great on a road grader, but you really have not had the opportunity to learn that much official of the science of business management. And there's a lot to it. And so thank goodness for UAH, A&M, Tuskegee, West Alabama, all of our wonderful institutions in Alabama, which offer the opportunity through the Small Business Development Center and through supportive services for business owners to get on-the-job training about business without having to take 2 years off and go get a major in business, or take 4 years off and go get that degree. So I'm going to talk a little bit in the general management science terms, but I'm going to fill it all in with examples from real life. So let's talk about mutual trust. What happens on a team if you don't have trust? And even before we get to trust, let's talk about shared vision. First of all, everybody on the team should be pulling in the same direction of shared vision. Now, people will look at this vision from different directions, and the leader has to inspire the team members. Sometimes if, there's just no amount of pay and bonuses, if a person is unwilling, they're not gonna work. What really works is inspiration. Leaders have to inspire the team members to pursue the shared vision. Now, let's say, for example, you're my dad in the 60s, you've got a crew of 10 or 15 guys on asphalt. If you only tell them, my vision is to grow Stanley Construction and pass it on to my children. Well, now they don't see themselves in that shared vision. So you have to make the vision big enough that everyone can relate to it and see themselves in it. Now, if you say, I want to grow Stanley Construction to the second and third generation management, and I hope that each of you will join me in this quest. I want you to go all the way with me. As I grow this company, you can move up, you can get promoted. Or in the case of what happened, you can start your own company. People wouldn't realize it, but my dad never was mad when a superintendent left and started his own business. He was so proud, it was like he had another kid. I can name them for you. So many companies spawned off of Stanley Construction because they saw a vision. The leader was saying, my vision is to grow business, to grow people, to grow leaders. And if that means they have to leave me to lead their own area, so be it. There was a gentleman named Wilbert King. He was one of our first superintendents. He started his own construction business. A gentleman named Thomas Lightfoot. Some of you all may know Lightfoot Concrete. Started at Stanley Construction. Let's see, who else? Well, many more. But the point is, express your vision so that other people can participate as well. Let's get on to collaboration. This is one of the typical things that people think about in teamwork. And of course, it is true. Every team member has a role to play and should rise to the occasion for the benefit of the team. Well, now here I'm going to use not a construction example. I'm going to have to use a basketball example because it is basketball season and because the Super Bowl didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So I'm not going to say anything at all about that. But some of the best examples of teamwork and collaboration we certainly see in the sports world. We know that on a team, there's 5 guys on the court at one time. You know, one of them is really tall. That's usually the center. Well, they're all pretty tall. But, you know, the guard has a different role to play than the center, and each one has a role to play. But sometimes in that clutch situation, someone can rise to the occasion and shoot that 3-pointer and win the game. I'm talking about Steph Curry, if y'all didn't see that the other night. Well, so you have your role to play, and you're personally accountable for guarding that area of the court, or if it's man on man, guarding that person. But you want to be able to rise to the occasion for the benefit of the team. What does this mean in construction? This means that if I'm the truck driver, and there's 3 other truck drivers in line in front of me before I can get all the dirt in my truck, am I gonna just sit in my truck and listen to the radio? Or are there some things I can do to help the overall benefit of the team? Sure there are. There's usually some cleanup, or maybe there's some safety materials you should be reading or listen to a podcast. But the point is, don't be so much in your own corner, so much you're one little piece of the puzzle here. You see a puzzle, but one piece doesn't make the picture by itself. It takes all the pieces together. It takes all the team members together to make a high-performing team. So one thing about collaboration that helps all these pieces stick together is communication. Critical, critical, critical. Without communication, you will have barriers in a team. So you must be sure to communicate the status, for example, of a project, so that the team is clear on the actions needed to complete the project. And this will allow the leader and the team to overcome issues quickly and to meet deadlines. We know every project has some difficulties. Every project's gonna have some bump in the road, but you can't hide it. You can't not tell the boss about it. You have to communicate, because only through communicating, deciding what's the next thing, what's plan B, what's plan C, all the way down to plan Z, we want to get this project done on time, hopefully, and within budget. So collaboration, there are so many aspects of collaboration, but certainly information is important. Just looking at the words in the middle of the screen. The people, of course, have to communicate with each other. Everyone has to feel a part and belong to the company. And then you see up in the top right, the computers. I mean, that is the way that we collaborate, certainly now in the time of COVID, and there's so much working from home. You know, without our computers and certainly our mobile devices, where would we be in terms of communication? Now let's talk about the conditions for having an excellent team. You need a climate. You need a climate that will help diverse, dispersed, digital, and dynamic teams work at their greatest height. Now, diverse, sure, that's age, sex, race, you name it. Everybody pretty much has a diverse team, because that's just the way of America today. And it's a beautiful thing, because all the different people bring in their different perspectives. Dispersed, We're dispersed now like never before, because again, in this era of work from home or even on your own job site, trying to maintain social distancing, even as you're working, you're more dispersed than you might have been at a particular time. Digital, can't say enough about the digital environment, computers, social media for marketing, very important. And then dynamic, just constantly fluctuating. Rarely does a job go exactly according to plan, because life isn't like that. Things come up, so we have to be dynamic. We have to be able to engage, re-engage, assess the situation, and decide the best place, the best way to go based on what we know at this time. This is also referred to as 4D teams. So I talked about diversity, lots of types of ways of diversity. Let's go on to culture. Why is culture important in teamwork? Well, it's because your culture has to support the employees. If people work for you and they feel like you're only about yourself, every penny of the profit is going into your pocket. They see your new house, they see your new car, and what's in it for them? No. Your culture has got to support them as well. Everything from fair compensation, profit sharing, to safety, being concerned about their well-being, having the proper personal protective equipment, very important. Always support your employees. Another aspect for building a good culture in teams, recognize and incentivize teamwork. Everybody at Stanley Construction loves the end of the year because it's like, let's see how well we did, because that's what the bonus is going to be. So they're thinking about that a little bit all the time in their mind, because it's a team output, it's a team product. And everybody that participates gets to participate in the reward. And then your culture should encourage collaboration. Again, not hiding mistakes, owning up to mistakes, correcting mistakes before they get out of hand is part of what you have to do in a collaborative culture. Then a culture of safety. Of course, I can't talk to a group of contractors without talking about a culture of safety. Safety is defined by planning, caution, and preparedness. A safe culture is one where leaders are realistic and they plan ahead. They plan ahead in terms of the work site. They plan ahead in terms of personal protective equipment. They plan ahead in terms of preventive maintenance on the equipment so it doesn't break down on you or get into an unsafe operating mode. They also plan ahead by having, again, the personal protective equipment on hand that will be needed. Don't run out of hard hats. Don't run out of gloves. Don't run out of reflective vests. Plan ahead. Also, in a culture of safety, the work environment, when I say predictable, of course, not everything can be predicted, but you want to predict to the best of the ability, best of your ability, and you want to provide a safe environment. So it means when I say predictable, I mean your employees can be assured that they're going to walk into a safe situation. What's predictable about it is that you're going to plan ahead and you're going to do the best of your ability for yourself and your employees. And the workers need to be risk conscious to think things out clearly, because we all know there's two kinds of accidents, preventable and unpreventable. And the preventable accidents happen to the people who don't think ahead, who don't follow directions, who don't follow guidelines, and they're just an accident waiting to happen. So employees who think things out clearly also do that because the management continually reminds them about safety. So I hope you're having toolbox talks on a regular basis. It's very easy to do. A lot of it is free information online. Your insurance company probably can provide you with some of that, but have a risk conscious and safety conscious culture, really critical. Employees are united by the desire to feel protected and anticipate change. So again, in a culture, employees feel that it's not just about the owners, it's not just them cutting corners, saving money, don't get enough stuff. They need to feel and to know that you care about their well-being and that they are protected. So think for a moment, what is your company culture? Do you have a culture of safety? Do you have a culture of collaboration? Do you have a culture of trust? No need to answer that here, but something to think about. Communication. I mean, we could give a whole course, a whole semester on communication. I just want to highlight a few things here in terms of communication techniques that can help you build teamwork and camaraderie with your coworkers and your employees. First of all, trust. If you don't trust somebody, you're going to treat them like, ooh, information, need to know basis. I can't tell them anything. I can't tell them anything. I certainly can't tell them everything. And we know that it's improper to tell everybody everything, but you have to communicate enough and enough information that they can do their job well and correctly. And they want to be able to trust you to share what's necessary. And you want to be able to trust them as well. You know, oftentimes employees are exposed to company confidential information. You don't want, you wouldn't be able to trust employees who go around telling other employees of other companies things that are at your company. That's not going to breed trust. So confidentiality, I don't have that word on here, but I would say communication and confidentiality build trust. Now, trust generates commitment. If people don't trust you, they're not going to be committed to you. There's no doubt about it. So this trust factor is so important, and it probably starts just the first day of the interview. You know, do you have a rapport with the person? You know, do you not have shifty eyes or a hidden agenda? That if you do, you're going to lose people on day one. So certainly the preferable situation is to build trust within the teams. Of course, the more people work together, talk together, even some things offline. If you want to foster teamwork, then spend some money on just a pizza lunch one day, or a team outing to talk golf, or a bowling night. These are small things, but they can help build rapport, build teamwork, build trust, build communication, build commitment. It all goes together. And when you have teamwork, then you can deliver results, because it is so true that without strong communication, there is no strong team. So I've talked a little bit about trust and team building, and I just want to reiterate, connections are built on communication. And team building is a great way to connect. So you know what, just to share again from the Stanley Construction Playbook, on some of these icy days and rainy days, and we know people can't work, which also means they're not getting their hourly pay. Well, that's when we declare a 2 or 3 hour safety meeting, and everybody gets half a day pay, a sausage and biscuit breakfast, and we're talking about safety. The last one we did, I think, was defensive driving, and our insurance agent did it for us and just really, you know, shored up some things we already knew, but you can just never be reminded too much about safety. So find ways to help your team connect. Well, we've talked about communication, that was the wrong way. Empowerment and positivity. Another thing to share about my dad. Man, he is the most positive person on earth. And if ever I remember, and not very often, he and my mom disagreeing on anything, his last word would probably be something like, well, now you know I believe in the power of positive thinking. So he's, you know, he is a natural risk taker. He thinks positively. He believes in the power of prayer. He had a little plaque of the prayer of serenity right over his desk on his office wall. And when you're positive as the team leader, that is going to be contagious. And then your team members are also going to be positive. And that's what you need. So you want to weed out negativity where you can and feed in the positivity. And remember, everyone needs encouragement from each other on the team. Let's go back to the sports example. You know, if somebody hits a 3-pointer, somebody catches that goal and catches that football in the end zone, oh man, they're over there, they're fist bumping, they're high fiving, they're doing their little dance together. That's their form of encouragement from each other. You're not gonna sit over there, you shouldn't be being mad saying, he caught that ball. I know I wanted to make that few points. I wanted to make that point. No, you be happy for your team member. So be positive. And it starts with the leadership and it goes on down. When you encourage and support each other, you will make one another stronger. So building an excellent infrastructure. Now, I asked to speak on the topic of teams, but I also know, and probably Mr. Hoffman, you helped remind me of this. We had a call the other week about how important it is for, I'm saying, the GBEs, the growing business enterprises, to have an excellent infrastructure, to participate in opportunities that are before them, to be on top of communications and returning messages and participating in networking opportunities and so forth. So what I want to say about infrastructure is that the infrastructure also helps you to support the team, to build an excellent organization, and that helps you move forward and be more profitable. So the things you need for excellent infrastructure: committed leadership and followers, clear communication, high standards, time management, and then technology and equipment. Just everyone thinks they're toys, but I mean, what would we do without our cell phones? I mean, and you have access to almost everything right there at your fingertips. You put your estimates in the cloud, then you're not going to be out on the job site wondering, now how many feet of this and that, how many feet of concrete forms was I going to need? You can just pull it up on your phone and go back to the estimate and look and see. No guesswork. So use your technology and equipment. And then to excellent office infrastructure. You need to have a reliable person in your office. Now, if you're small and most all of the calls come to you on your cell phone, that's one thing, but at some point you're going to grow beyond that, because you're going to have your hands full. You're not going to be able to answer every call, and you need to have timely communication with your customers. So you want to have a very proficient and efficient office staff. You also want to communicate with your employees in a goal-oriented way. You need the office staff to understand what are the goals for the outside crew today or this week. I mean, a simple 1-minute conversation at the beginning. We're going to be ordering concrete on the XX job. Look for a lot of gravel orders on the YY job, so forth and so on. It helps people get in the frame of mind, and they can feel more a part of the team of your outside crews. So again, an excellent office infrastructure is critical to a professional, growing business enterprise. And of course, computers and mobile information technology. All forms of communication are important. You see them there: verbal, written, messages. Contracts are a form of communication. They express how you expect to be paid, deliver work, go against project timelines and budget. It's a form of communicating the expectations of the customer and the contractor. And then policies and procedures. Please take the time, and there's a lot of resources online, and I'm certain a lot of them are within the SBDC and the supportive services regarding policies and procedures. Policies and procedures for good office practices, for good project management practices, and I'm sure there's a wealth of information there. But you want to write these things down, because few people stay at one company forever, and you don't want all that knowledge to walk out the door with that person. You need to have some things written down, and if they leave tomorrow, the new person should at least have some sort of guidebook to get started until they have completed their on-the-job training. Computers and mobile information technology are critical for your estimates, project management, accounting, communication, and mobile information technology. So I hope everyone is using computers fully. So in summary, teamwork is a key success factor. And you see that logo off to the left. In addition to being the Vice President of Finance and Administration for Stanley Construction, I have a consulting firm whereby I do assist businesses and nonprofits with growing their business and building capacity. So I often say in my talks, and repeat my own brand, teamwork is a key success factor. Communication is a key success factor. Office infrastructure is a key success factor, and technology is a key success factor. I have referred to several articles in this talk, and if you would like to know about some of them, please feel free to reach out to me. And are there any questions, or would you like to have some discussion? I know that we do have another speaker, so we might not have time for the discussion now. And if not, then I turn it back over to the moderator. Thank you.
Karen, Ms. Stanley, if you could just unshare.
I'm gonna unshare my screen. There you go.
Okay. Our next speaker is Albert Williams of Providence Staffing. They work with contractors nationwide to help them with staffing solutions, finding qualified talent. And I'm just going to pass it on to him. So welcome, Mr. Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Albert Williams, and I'm the president of Providence Staffing. And today I will be talking to you about finding and retaining skilled workers. And remember, businesses don't create value, it's the people. Today we will cover the challenges and solutions to recruiting and hiring skilled workers, the challenges and solutions to retaining those workers, and also the benefits of using a staffing agency. All right, so as many of you may know, the term blue collar means skilled workers or manual workers. For many in the construction manufacturing industry, there's a shortage of skilled workers, which is known as the blue collar drop. There are various causes for this blue collar drop. One of the reasons that many people believe that the term blue collar has a negative connotation. So potential candidates associate blue collar work as a difficult and dirty jobs, and this discourages people to apply for the jobs. So how to overcome the blue collar drop that the construction industry is facing? Consider creating your own blue collar pipeline by partnering with local community and technical colleges in your area and create an apprenticeship or internship program. Now with recruiting, you have to use foresight on your upcoming hiring needs. Now, even though some of these students may not have the skills necessary yet, they are going to school to learn the trade, and they're showing you that they have an interest in blue collar work. And if you partner with these colleges to allow their students to get hands-on experiences while they're getting certified and trained, these students tend to be loyal to your company that gave them experience and want to come work for your company once they get certified. Also, another solution is to partner with an NCCER accredited training sponsor like the organization Power Up in Birmingham. These NCCER accredited training sponsors offer industry recognized training and certification in the construction industry, and they are eager to partner with construction companies so their students can get employed after they graduate. So before I started my own staffing firm, I worked as a recruiting director in a company in Atlanta, and they had the opposite problem from the blue collar drop. Due to the company and their brand, a lot of four-year degree people did not want to come work for this company. However, the company had a plan to expand nationwide, and they wanted four-year degree candidates to be division manager for the company. So I had to come up with a recruiting strategy to improve the four-year hire market. And I did this by partnering with major universities and colleges in the region. I had career services directors and college advisors emailing me resumes almost every other week, because their job is to find students and even their alumni jobs once they graduate. So partnering with local community and technical colleges definitely will create a pipeline for your employees. Now, another challenge with finding skilled labor that ties into the blue collar drop is low response rate from the posting of traditional job boards. This is known as the post and pray method, where you just post a job on Indeed and Monster and pray that a candidate finds your job on Indeed and applies for your job. But 9 times out of 10, it doesn't happen that way. So to help recruit your current openings, try utilizing your brand ambassadors, which are your employees, to help you recruit for your roles. Because usually your employees want to help their employer find talent. They do this for 2 reasons. One, to feel a sense of empowerment, and also to ensure that they're working with people that they really like. So therefore, as a business owner, use this to your advantage and offer employees incentives for referrals. This could be something small as a $30 gift card or an extra vacation day for helping recruit employees. Now, another option with working is to work with a staffing agency, and we'll discuss the benefits of working with a staffing agency later. Now, your competition plays a major issue with being able to find skilled workers for your company. There are currently over 850 companies registered as an Alabama Associated General Contractor. Therefore, if you have your own construction business and you're looking to highly qualified skilled laborers for your company, more than likely they are already employed with your competition. So you have to have a recruiting strategy that works for your company to help you recruit for these roles. Now, to compete with your competition, you need to be aware of what your competition is offering to their employee for the similar roles that you're hiring for. So if you can't afford to pay as much as your competition, come up with another alternative for compensation, like offering an extra week of vacation that your competition is not offering. Also, utilize your partnership with your community college and technical college in your area to help your employees get career development classes so they can earn more certifications while working for your company. Now, while offering career development training to your employees, you are standing out from your competition. Also, your employees will have a sense of appreciation for your company because you are helping them advance their career by earning industry recognized certification. So this will be a win-win for your company because you don't have to pay extra compensation and your employees will become more skilled for future projects that you may have in the future. Now, your company culture plays a big role when recruiting employees. Now, your company culture refers to the set of behavior, procedure, norms that can be observed within a company, which includes its policy, procedures, ethics, values, and employees' behavior. Now, you may wonder as a business owner, how does your company culture help you recruit your new employees? Well, the reason company culture is important because your biggest brand ambassadors for your company are your current employees. And if your current employees are out into the community or on social media talking about how bad it is to work for your company or how toxic it is the work environment, this actually has a negative impact when recruiting, and employees would tend to stay away from your company. So remember, your employees are your brand ambassadors, so don't underestimate their value and treat your work environment, try to create a positive work environment. Now, we just got done talking about the challenges with recruiting employees. So let's talk about the challenges and solutions with retaining these employees once they get recruited. The first one is a poor fit within your organization. And there's no overcoming a poor fit. They can create a toxic environment within your company and run off some of your best employees. As Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world, stated, setting the bar high in our approach to hiring has been and will continue to be the single most important element of our success. So be very thorough in the hiring process and just don't hire the first person that applies for your job. Now, also, you identify someone as being a poor fit for your company, eliminate that person early. Now, I know it sounds strange to talk about firing an employee in order to retain employees, but remember, one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. And the longer your employee stays with your company, the higher chance they run off other employees. I just brought on a new client as a security firm that provides staffing for this past December. And the owner was telling me how they lost a $400,000 contract because of a bad employee. This company provides security services for restaurants and school districts. And he had an employee that was bad. Instead of firing the employee, he kept moving the employee from a school to school to school. And eventually, the superintendent visited one of the schools that the employee was working at and seen the employee bad behavior. And not only did he want to terminate the employee, he called the owner of the company and terminated the contract that day as well. So he lost a $400,000 contract because of a poor fit within his organization. Now, another issue is poor compensation. If you're paying less in salary or offering less in benefits than your competition, you're going to lose good talent to other companies that are paying better. So to overcome poor compensation, don't try to maximize profit by underpaying your employees. Pay attention and listen to your good employees. If they're asking or requesting a raise, they're telling you that they need money, and 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go find the money that they're seeking. Now, I'm not saying this to to offer a raise to every employee that asks for a raise, but do take the request seriously when it comes from your good employees. Now, employees who feel unappreciated are employees who will seek praise elsewhere. So you have good employees that are working hard for you and exceeding your expectation. Show them that you notice and offer them a reward. The reward can be a small $25 gift certificate to a local restaurant, or you can create an Employee of the Month program and acknowledge the best employee at the end of the year with a bonus. Small things like this help employees feel appreciated and help reduce employee turnover. Now, company culture. Once again, a negative company culture can be detrimental to an organization. A negative company culture can produce low productivity, unfriendly competition between your employees, and low employee satisfaction. So as the owner, you have the responsibility to create your company culture. Years ago, Harvard Business School completed a study to see why employees quit their job. And the #1 reason employees quit was because of their boss. So as the owner, it's up to you to audit and examine your company culture and send out employee satisfaction surveys and also do exit interviews for employees that recently quit to see why employees are really leaving your job. The ultimate goal when using these employee satisfaction surveys and exit interviews is to determine how you can improve your company culture and reduce employee turnover. So we talked about the challenges with retaining employees. Now let's talk about the benefits of using a staffing agency. One of the benefits of using a staffing agency, it increases your hire speed. Let's say you've just been awarded a contract and the project starts on Friday and it's Tuesday, and you don't have any employees on the pipeline. It's best to use a staffing agency so you can have people for that role. And also staffing agencies have a wider and better quality talent pool because they use more methods than just post jobs and pray that people apply for them. They actually go out and network and recruit for these roles. Then with the benefit, another benefit with using the staffing agency, that we remove the burden that comes with hiring people. Most staffing agencies cover their own payroll burden, insurance for their employees, and help with onboarding. And one of the main benefits of a staffing agency is the cost efficient. We pay for our own job advertising, we do our own background drug screening, and most importantly, we save companies on loss of productivity. So imagine if you have a role that requires 4 people and you don't have only 1 person for that role, you're losing productivity for that project. So that's one of the benefits of using a staffing agency. And that's the end of my presentation. If you want to know more, you can always reach out to me. My name is Albert Williams. My telephone number is 706-358-8926, and this is my website. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Williams. I think Mr. Taylor, were you going to talk about some?
Yes. So our next speaker is just going to just introduce themselves. They're going to be our guest presenter next month. Reginald Thompson, they do bonding and things of that nature. Reginald, can you give a real quick introduction of your company?
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be on. My name is Reginald Thompson. Also, I have on the line is David Russell Jr. We're with South Group Insurance Services, the Evans Agency. We provide commercial insurance solutions, risk management solutions, including surety bonding for clients. We're actually the largest privately held insurance agency in the state of Mississippi. Last year, we invested in an office in Birmingham, Alabama, so we expanded to the Alabama market. But what we do is provide risk management services for clients. So I love the presentation with Ms. Stanley earlier. We talk risk management all the time, but also we provide services that include commercial insurance, which is auto, work comp, property, liability coverage. And then we probably have about 30 contractors we work with between the South and Southeast on surety bonding. So a lot of our clients have started with zero bonding, and we've grown their capacity pretty significantly. So we have guys that are just starting at $150,000 or $250,000 in capacity, all the way up to about 40 or 50 million. So we're looking forward to presenting to the group. I like what I hear with this group so far, and we appreciate the invite. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I think that brings our well, I didn't know that picture was on there, but that brings our Aladdin seminar for this month down to an end. I want to again thank Ms. Stanley and Mr. Williams for those two presentations, and I just want to highlight, you know, our team talks a little bit about what we call the soft skill side, because a lot of times the DBEs get so focused on we call the trade, you know, the estimating, the doing the work, you know, the pouring the concrete, that they neglect like leadership and communication and culture. And a lot of times what Mr. Williams and Ms. Stanley would focus on, the overlap there, is that culture or that brand is going to do a lot more for you in getting work actually a lot of times than you're actually doing the work, right? How easy are you to work with? Are your employees, like Ms. Stanley said, are they team workers, or do they just sit in the truck and are very hard to work with? So I think that information is more important than being like a Stanley Construction and being around, say, for 60 years, because that's not an easy feat. There's a lot of organizations that have started and gone by the wayside in those 60 years. So just that longevity, we can learn a lot from that. So I thank Ms. Stanley for being a part of our Mentor-Protege program. That information there would be very, you know, instrumental for me as a DBE, if I was a DBE, you know, to kind of get my head out of the weeds, so to speak, and to try to put things in place that's gonna give me longevity and make me successful in the long run. So I want to thank everybody again. I saw Miss Madlock, I think, come on. Cynthia, you want to introduce yourself? I think you're the only supportive services that hadn't had a chance yet to kind of just introduce yourself and talk about how they can get in contact with you. She drop off.
Yes, this is Cynthia Matlock with EEO Networking Solutions, and we provide supportive services for the central region in Alabama, which includes 22 counties. We also provide assistance with the business development program, and that covers the whole state. My contact information is cm@contractorcn.com, and my phone number is 205-616-1611. Thank you, and I'm sorry I joined a little bit late. I had another meeting.
No problem. Thanks, Cynthia.
You're welcome.
Before we close out, are there any last minute questions or comments? Please feel free to get the contact information if you need any questions from any of the DB supportive services or anybody that can help you be successful, because as a teamwork, I think now all of us as supportive services, you know, our goal is to help again DBEs become more successful. So ALDOT is supporting us to do that. So feel free to reach out. We had Mr. Williams on talking about staff.